So we're at a remediation loss, and the purpose of this video is to talk to remediation contractors and charities and nonprofits who are going in and gutting out houses after a catastrophe or a storm, and try to correct a problem in the industry with the gutting of a house, gutting of the building components and throwing them away, and then at a later time the adjuster coming in and not seeing what was there before. Photos are great. They show things from afar. They kind of give an idea if there was carpet. You know, we can assume there was pads sometimes. There was a wall surface. It was drywall or it was paneling, but we don't know what type of paneling. So the purpose of this video is a protocol that should be put into practice as common practice to help people recover from a storm and help adjusters adjust claims when they come in. So we did some remediation. We cut everything up to a certain height where everything was dry. We put some encapsulation in because we have some mold behind, but that's not the purpose of this video. I'm going to start taking the pieces of evidence that I need, and I'm going to put them on the wall, and I'm going to show you what it means and what we're doing and why. Okay. Now that I have my building components from the room that we saved while we were ripping things out and making our flood cut, I'm going to go 3 feet in from the door, the entry door to the room, and if I have the ability to screw on the remaining wall, I will. If not, I'll just choose a stud and I'll screw directly to the stud. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put everything on the wall in the order that it was in the room. So carpet and pad. The adjuster can see the thickness of it. He can see what was there. Next on the wall was a wood paneling, and the adjuster can see that it's a mastic finish and the glue that was on it. And what I'm going to do, because this room had a wainscot, is I'm going to put the wall section that would either be on the wall up here or on a stud exactly the way it was. So the wall paneling was on the studs, and then on top of the wall paneling was the base trim. The wainscot was rabbited into the base trim on top of the paneling. And then my chair rail sat on top of that. This room had another detail that would have been lost had we not documented the items in the room, and that is a wooden plate cover that's metal backed. So had this flood cut gone on, everything been thrown out on the street or in a dumpster and gone, when the adjuster got here, he would basically write for If he didn't have evidence or a photo, he would know there's some type of wainscot. He wouldn't know if it's an MDF or a paneling. If we took the wall all the way up, he wouldn't know if it was a cheaper grade or higher grade paneling. He wouldn't know that there's a mastic on top of it. He wouldn't know that the wainscot was nailed and glued to that paneling. He wouldn't know the chair rail was rabbeted, and he wouldn't know the quality of the switch plates. So I can basically now tell the story of this room. So the adjuster, when he comes out to the loss, can take his camera, take a picture. He can take his tape measure. He can run it to show the height of the base trim, the chair rail. He can show the thickness. He can show the thickness of the pad. And if he needs, he can even cut off a piece of the carpet and take it as a sample to send it out. So what basically is happening in this house is Flood Cut was over all of this evidence that the adjuster may never have gotten to see unless we followed this protocol and we put everything on the wall for him to see at a later date. And then when the contractors come in, they're doing the work, they're just going to come in and take this stuff and toss it. But it'll always be there, and the insured can actually take a photograph. Remediation companies or nonprofits, they can take a photo. If they're following the protocol for the contents, they're going to be using a flash drive or a photo card anyway. They can document everything, hand it to the homeowner. The homeowner has the ability to go back and look at it. They can forward it to the adjuster can look at it. And what it does is it allows people to document the things that get thrown out in the efforts to try to save their property, and those things that are getting thrown out never really get documented. Now we have the ability to document them in an orderly fashion with a simple protocol. It may add a total of 4 to 5 minutes per room to follow this protocol when all the work is being done. When you pull a piece of trim, you're using a saw, you're using whatever tools you have, you just cut the piece. It doesn't exactly have to be straight. You're using a razor to cut the carpet, you can cut a small piece off anyway. You have the pad. You can save things that are coming off anyway that just go in a dumpster. And that's what we wind up with, and this homeowner will have a better chance of recovery. Thank you.